we're here talking about day 8 from Make Dollars and Cents. And today I have joining us once again. Thank you, Tiffany, my sister Tiffany, little sister. So, day 8 talks about you should be wealthy. And then you can look at me and be like, oh, it's you're not wealthy. Well, is wealth just about money? Is it just about money? Like, think about that.
Right.
Right? And then you don't know whether it's a has.
Right.
Right? But no, I just want to take a look here at this line and say, wealth is not just about money. It's not. It's really not. Because you can have a lot of money and not have time. You could be one of those people that work all the time. You make a lot of money, but you spend a lot of time at your job.
Mm-hmm.
So if your money is not making money for you, you're basically a highly paid slave. Really. Because you don't have any time to enjoy your money. So you're
Yeah.
a slave to your lifestyle. You're a
Mm-hmm.
slave to your house. You're a slave to your car. You're a
Mm-hmm.
slave to whatever you're spending your money on. And then also to your job because you got to go there all the time and work to make all that money.
Yeah.
Whereas if you take a portion of that money, live below your means, live below your
Mm-hmm.
means, take a portion of that money, begin to invest that over time, that money's going to continue to grow for you, right? Until you can work it to the point where you don't have to work for money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So once again, Tiffany mentioned that she had some real estate that gave her money every month at certain
Mm-hmm.
points. But then once she sold that real estate, she got a lump sum of money, right?
Absolutely.
So then, and also in that, you mentioned that there were some times where nobody was in the property or people weren't paying properly,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you had to take money from that, but you could do that because you had some money set aside. So you were
Absolutely.
managing your money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that didn't put you all the way out. I'm gonna say it didn't put you all the way out. Not all the way out. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
Um, you should be wealthy. So it says here, wealth could be described as the combination of everything good converging and spilling over in your life, seemingly all at once. So that's the last part I'm going to read from the book. You want to know what else the book says? Get the book. It's on Amazon. It's on J Media Marketplace.net as well. So you can get the book there. So everything converging on your life. So that means to me, when I hear that, or what I thought about as I was writing that, is that I've been putting in work. I've been sowing seeds. There are things that I've been
Absolutely.
doing. I've been accumulating assets. I've been paying attention to my finances, not
Mm-hmm.
overspending, um, paying things on time. But once again, my main thing that I need to free me is to accumulate the assets. Because if I'm not doing that, then I'll always be working for money. Whereas money is my slave. And
Right.
you gotta look at it that way. Money
It's
is my
working for
slave,
you. Mm-hmm.
money is my seed. So those things work for me. My
Right.
slave continues to work for me on my behalf, and my seed reproduces after its own kind.
Absolutely.
So my money makes me money.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany, you have anything to say or to add?
So yes, when it was saying you should be wealthy and that wealth is not just about money, I remember a family member, had made a little smart comment like, well, you're not wealthy. But the thing was they were comparing wealth to maybe like definitely dollars of what they were making versus, what I was making. And I was like, I am wealthy. And I was like, I have like what I want. I have a loving husband. I have beautiful, healthy, intelligent children that are doing well. We get to travel across the world, having nice vacations. That's what wealth is to me. So I have that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what this person has in dollars or whatever, like that may be wealth to them, and then, they don't have the family dynamic and maybe they may not want to, and that's fine because again, wealth to me is my family, is that quality time and us vacationing together. So wealth is what kind of your heart desires and what you make it. Um, But either way, going back to what we were saying before, all of those things still take work. Marriage takes work, and with your children, relationships and the finances, all of it takes work. But we are wealthy based upon like whatever our desire is. Like, am I at that place? And I feel like, yes, I'm at that place. Do I want more? Yes, I'm going to continue to raise the bar in my marriage, in my life, in my finances. Because again, like,
Your sound went out. You said you're going to continue to raise the bar.
want to continue to raise the bar because like we mentioned before in day 6 is like taking the limits off. There are no limits. And so you don't want to really kind of get comfortable, be content with the blessings that you have and be grateful. But there's always like more you can do, like better in your marriage, better with your children, better in your finances, better in your health. So just gradually just increasing that bar in your life.
And I think what you said too goes back to that to day 7, where we said take responsibility for your actions. Because once again, if you got resentment sitting in your heart, that's going to spill over and continue to impact you in your life, but also the people around you. So you're not creating a wealthy environment. Okay, and then that wealth is tied to the health as well. So if I'm going in, to my wealthy season, or this, or looking at things, I just want to say, like, if I'm going in limping mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, that's going to impact everybody around me. So I'm not basically creating an atmosphere of abundance. I'm creating an atmosphere of lack of peace and of joy and of goodness and mercy and grace, loving kindness, all those things. I'm basically walking in lack because of my attitude. Whereas, like we said, we are a continual work in progress. So as I get better, as I go through life, then I should be getting better at life and being a good person, being considerate of others, right? So I think all of that goes into being wealthy, like you said, all of that. Your family, being able to spend time with your family, all of that is a part of your wealth. I'm just looking here at some of the things that I wrote down because once again, I always try this book was about financial literacy. So I want to tie that back to I want to tie everything back to that in this case. So one line I wanted to read here from this chapter says, I've heard it said over and over again that it's very expensive to be poor. Now, I just want to talk about that a little bit because people are like, what do you mean it's expensive to be poor? Like, if you notice every presidential election, they say they're going to tax the rich. Every single one, it never fails. So why haven't they taxed the rich yet?
Right.
Why haven't they? Why haven't they taxed the rich yet? In all my years of life, every presidential election, that's right there at the forefront. Oh, we're going to tax the rich. No, they're not. No, they're not. Okay, because the rich have ways of basically protecting their money, protecting their assets to where they don't have to pay as much in taxes. Once again,
They have right.
they have people that work on those
Right.
things for them. They have systems in place, basically, set up your business structure to protect your assets. Like you can sue one of them multimillionaires, but you probably won't get nothing because nothing's in their name, right? They protect their assets. So somebody sue you, they're suing you, right? Somebody sue them, you suing them, but you're not getting anything. Because once again, they don't own anything. They own nothing and control everything, pretty much that way. But here, one other thing too that poor people don't have checking or savings accounts. You need to have those things because if you're going to the check cash in place and getting those next day loans or same day loans or whatever, or payday loans or whatever it's called, you're paying exorbitant. You're paying excessive fees for all that stuff, and that's not helpful to you. That's actually taking from you. That's a tax that you're basically imposing on yourself by not having a checking account. And then you probably say, well, checking account, you need a minimum. Yes. Yes. So that means you need to have something, right? Or you need to be working towards something. Like I hear people say it over and over and over again. Oh, the average American doesn't have $1,000 for an emergency. And most checking accounts, I think they want you to maintain like $500 balance. So you need to find yourself somewhere in between that or there, and then working to get up to the 1,000, the 500, work your way up to the 1,000, and then beyond that, because you don't want to just be at the minimum. So where if anything happens, it just wipes you out. Okay. And then you're back at the check cash in place or the next same day loans or whatever it's called, payday loans thing. Right. And then here, they have high interest rates on all those loans. Like if you have money, you don't pay a lot for money. You get actually good rates on money when you borrow money. Good credit, and you got some money already, they'll give you more money. Right? Like I get them advertisements in the mail all the time. I don't even worry about it anymore. I know when I sign my name on something, I'm getting that money. Period. I don't even want it. Right? Well, I know that I'm getting that money. And no, there's no doubt about it. All right. Because I've worked towards that. There was a time where I wouldn't have gotten that, or they would have charged me a whole lot to have it. But that's not anymore. Not anymore. Right. And yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say, about this page. I want to give you a chance, Tiffany, to go ahead and say something if you have something else.
Yes, I want to jump on, just confer with what you were saying before. I was talking to my children about that, and we were talking about like it costs to be poor, and like when people are in poverty or poor, like they pay for that. And I was bringing to their attention, like on different sides of town, how when there's people that like a lower economic status, they're paying more for gas, and when on the wealthier side of town, it's less gas, which really doesn't make sense. You would think the people that have more money, let them pay the higher gas prices, or at least let it be equal. But I just wanted to bring that to their attention. Again, like you were saying, as far as, being poor cost, that's one example of it. Then I wanted to jump to a different point. We're talking about, being wealthy, because again, being wealthy, I guess it also is kind of like a mindset. But and when we were talking about day 7, we were talking about like equilibrium and balance. So then it makes me think about some different things going on in the media now. And we have people where they're, compromising, and they're worshiping wealth, and they feel like, they are God because they have wealth and they have status and notoriety, and they can do whatever they want to people. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about earning wealth the legal way. We're talking about earning it, gradually. And again, not worshiping it. But again, you're not a slave to the wealth, but again, your wealth is working for you. That's what we're talking about, and having that balance, because the Bible says, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? So we don't want to compromise our character, our morals, our belief, whatever it is you stand on for wealth. We're not saying that, because that's what we don't want to do. That's being off balance. But that's something I thought about while you were talking.
Yeah, because I look at it too as like I'm looking for the richness of life. Like I said, having my family, being able to come, travel down there, to visit my family, travel to Michigan to visit my family, to Oklahoma, wherever, my family is. I can do that. I can just get up and do that. Whereas most of the people here in my family can't get up and do that. Right. But I've built towards that. Right. But even then, it's experiencing, once again, the richness of life. And once again, that's spending time with my family and then being able to help them, when I can. So I don't want to ever, take those things for granted, but, just I want to continue to build that to where I'm not having to go places, by myself, but, could take as many of them with me as, are able to go. Or hopefully they'll get on board and we can all go and just, enjoy our lives wherever we are, wherever we find ourselves. Right. So, and the wealth building word for this section was commitment, and something that we talked about through the other 2 days, day 6 and day 7. And I think it was in day 7 where I said, poverty permeates every aspect of your life, just like wealth does. Right? Wealthy people are not thinking about being poor. They're not thinking about what they can't have. They're thinking about what they can build next, what they can do next, right? What they can possibly learn next, what they can, maybe collaborate on to do next, right? Whereas poverty, I learned this at church. I heard this guy say it one time, blew my mind. He said, you see guys hanging out on the corner all day, all day. Like, why couldn't they go read a book all day or some books all day? And I was just like, wow, that blew my mind. Because I grew up, I love to hang on the corner. I absolutely did. But when I learned that didn't benefit me, I had to let it go. You'll see me every now and then, but even if I'm there, my mind is always working on what can I do? What am I going to do when I get home? What am I going to do when I get in my car? What am I going to listen to when I get in my car? You know? So you have to cultivate something different if you want something different. Doing what you have done has gotten you to where you are. So if you want more, do more, right? YouTube is free. you know, so there's plenty of things you can do. You can look up financial literacy. You can look up investing in the stock market. You can look up my channel, Catch Gems, right? Or you probably seeing it because you're watching this video right now. But subscribe to the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, right? All those things. So then listen to me or listen to somebody else and then build from there. Maybe, get an idea of something that you heard from there and then search that. And it'll just keep going on and on and on. It's a never ending rabbit hole, never ending rabbit hole. And then once you begin to learn something in one place, then you'll see that will kind of carry over to the next place and then to the next place. And next thing you know, you're the expert, you know? So it's really not hard, especially in this day and age when we all walk around with our phones in our hands. Like that's fun. You have a literal library in your hand almost at all times. So we're without excuse for not knowing, okay, and not being able to do. Anything you want to know, you can find it right there on YouTube. But I did want to look at some things that I wrote here, some notes that I wrote down from this day. You should be wealthy, day 8. Watch who you listen to. So basically pay attention who you listen to because everything is not for you. It's just not. What have they accomplished? So pay attention to that. I mean, your life is going to represent what you've done, right? If I'm sitting around, I love pizza and French fries, two of my favorite things in the whole wide world. But if I'm sitting around eating pizza and French fries all day long, my life will reflect that. It will absolutely reflect that. Not just in my weight, but also in the status of my health. Right? I get sick when my weight gets up to a certain level. That everything hurts, right? Blood pressure high, borderline diabetic. Probably, then if it gets up too much, then you just cross over and where you are diabetic. All those things matter. Everything you do matters, right? What are you currently doing? So pay attention to that. Okay. Do you watch too much nonsense on TV? Okay. What are you actually listening to on TV, on the radio, when you get in your car? Oh, I did write down some other channels here that people could watch on YouTube. Catch Gems, that's mine, right? EYL, that's Earn Your Leisure, Social Proof, Honey Drip Network, all good places to start. Okay, all good places to start. Once again, if you don't understand everything, there's plenty of resources out there to help break everything down to you. Investopedia, I think it's investopedia.com, has all the terminology. It's like an encyclopedia for the stock market or for any kind of market, for the financial markets. Investopedia.com. So if you Google that, information will come right up to you. Tiffany, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Yes, I wanted to share another quote from day 8 when you wrote, saturate your environment and social media time with information from individuals and sources that support your new life. And that stood out to me because I think about, like, and you referenced these words, paying attention. And I heard a pastor explain it as you literally are paying somebody for your attention. You're giving them your time, you're giving them your energy, you're giving them your focus. So am I going to pay somebody to show me death? Am I going to pay somebody to show me how to be broke? Am I going to pay somebody to show me how to be sick? No, I'm not. But when we think about it, do we give our time? Like she was saying, are you watching just like meaningless stuff? And not to say you may not watch a scary movie here or there or whatever, little show, but like, what is the majority of the thing that you're saturating your environment and pouring into your spirit, into yourself? Because whatever the majority is, that's what we're going to get out.
Wow. That's powerful. That is really powerful because I'm thinking about it. Like I said, wealth is more associated with your time, whereas riches actually is more associated with your money. Okay, so how you're able to spend your time. So if you're paid, like you said, paying attention. So I'm actually paying somebody to show me nonsense. Wow. Because time is my most valuable asset. I can get more money. You can't get more time.
Right.
Wow. Wow. It's like we're so familiar with words that we don't really understand the words that we're saying a lot of times. Pay attention. Wow, I'm giving you my most valuable asset, my time and attention.
Yep.
That's powerful. Well, you have any closing remarks for day 8, or are we done?
We're done. That they just need to pay attention to the right stuff.
Hey, pay attention. Pay attention. Wow, that was really powerful. Was it day 8? You should be wealthy. You should be wealthy. Pay attention.
And if we're not, we got to again adjust what we're paying attention to.